Hey YouTube, how's it going? Red Baron here, flying at you with yet another Elestrals video. So today I want to talk about Flormine and the new community created card, Chillalotl. So, Chillalotl won't be printed until set 2. But whoever backed the lowest tier of the backers in the Kickstarter will get 1 copy of Chillalotl, 1 copy of Flormine. What does this mean for future play when set 1 comes out? If I'm honestly not sure whether there'll be regionals, tournaments, or whatever between set 1 and set 2. But if there happen to be tournaments, I do see this seeing quite a bit of gameplay. People will put it in their decks. Not all decks, but people will use it. And what does this mean in terms of availability? In terms of availability, you will have to go out, trade people, buy it off people to get that 2-pair or set to run in your deck. Now, a lot of talks have been happening lately, whether it actually will be good, whether it will be worth putting in your deck. So I'm here to give my opinion on the card and let you know how strong I think it actually is. So first things first, I do not think it will be put in every deck. It would be put in decks that lack back row destruction, back row management. So you won't see it in mono green. Mono green has equal nicks. You won't see it in burn decks. There's no point. Now, well, I say this, but I won't say it got like nerfed to the ground, but you won't see it in mill decks either. So, what decks could you see it in? You can see it in full Tempest decks. You'll see it in decks that lack the back row destruction or thereof. Now, Full Tempest is wind, and you have P-Gust, you have Thunderstorm. Currently, I run triple P-Gust in mine, but I would take out my P-Gusts for the Chillalotl. That's what I do. I think it's Chillalotl is slightly better than P-Gust. I'll go this over in a different video. I'll compare P-Gust and Chillalotl, but that's my own personal opinion. So you'd run 2 or 3. You would also use this in a Leonite deck. Something that Words came up with earlier, Leonite Lockdown. Because you have Leonite who negates all invokes, then he gets ravaged by the back row. So what do? You put in cards that support him. You play Leonite, next turn you're playing your Chillalotl, and then to protect him from the back rows, from shields, tsunamis. And so that's the type of card Chillalotl is. It's not a card that you'll put in every deck, but it is a card that you'll have support a lot of your decks that lack back row, that you don't really want to play Thunderstorm because it's a 2 mana. It's a 2 mana. 2 spirit costed card. And there's going to be a debate whether it's stronger than P-Gust, not stronger than P-Gust, but again, I'll talk about that later. But I definitely think this will see competitive play. It is definitely a top-rated card, high A tier. It will help you push the tempo. This is good if you control the tempo and your opponent tries to play a creature, tries to set back rows, and then you'll just play Chillalotl to freeze the back row. I want to use the keyword freeze, even though it's not really a keyword right now, but excuse me. You'll use it to freeze the back row so you can continue with the tempo. Of course, people will probably be like, well, if you draw it late, it's gonna be a dead card. You don't really want to draw that. You can say the same thing with Thunderstorm or P-Gust. You don't really. There are certain situations where you want to draw them, and situations you don't want to draw them. Like if you're behind, Chillalotl probably won't be as good. But if you can play a Chillalotl, target 2 back rows, and then protect it for a turn, then you can go off. Man, I'm excited for this card. I think it will help shape the meta. It will help other cards that don't want the expensive 2-cost Thunderstorm, that that gives them something other than a Pegasus to play. So for right now, like, well, I don't want to go over it because I'll go over it into a different video. But yeah, my honest opinion is this card will be a lot of play. You won't run one of those cards. In the decks that run this, you'll definitely see 2 or 3. 3 might be overdoing it. Maybe 2. I would say 2. But definitely not 1, because then it would be pointless. You want it to help support your deck, not like be your deck. And then if you have run 1, you probably will never see it. It's not a 3-cost Celestial where you just want to run one of. You want to see it, but not every single time. I'm personally excited for this card. I'm going to try it out best I can. I believe this is going to make Volt Tempest even better than it was before, because Volt Tempest, you can't be targeted by effects, but you can still be targeted by shield and tsunami, even though shielding as Volt Tempest right now is very, very that face. So, because you're taking 4 damage in order to do so. But it's there to protect, it's there to support your deck. So, and off chance that your opponent has a shield, you'll just play Chillalotl and then freeze that, or freeze the tsunami. And if they're like, I want to chain tsunami off of Chillalotl, you're like, okay, I just switch my Volt Tempest back to attack mode. I believe this card is good in the current meta. Where tempo is slow, where you get paid, well, where 1 for 2s, I guess you could say, get paid off a lot. So any action that says, well, 1 card does 1 thing, like boom bat, like you'll do sack it, destroy 1. 1 for 1s are usually good in a slow tempo meta. But when you have a card that's like, kind of like a 1 for 2, it's fairly good, especially as a 1 cost. You can say, but Kraken's a 1 for 2, but it's not that good. Yeah, Kraken's also a 2-cost Elestral that we don't see much played right now. And it also does something fundamentally different. It takes up the spots, it doesn't prevent the spots from activating effects, so on and so forth. And it was fairly easy to get over. Well, I mean, you could still. It doesn't have in decks that Kraken is involved with. They're not really attack heavy. So as much as you'd like to play Kraken, you don't really want to play it in attack mode, because if you do, this has a 5 attack, I believe, 5 or 6, and that's fairly easy to get over nowadays. But just holding down 2 back rows will give you the tempo to build up your board, and by the time your opponent gets rid of your Chillalotl, you'll have other things like thunderstorms to back you up in case that happens, or Pegasus if you want to run like Chillalotls and Pegasus. I personally think that's too much. You either run row 1 or the other. But yeah, that's honestly my personal view of Chillalotl. I think it will see massive gameplay for decks that can't control the back row well, and it's a very decent card. Though it takes up your normal summon, you can. It's a rise target, honestly. If you're looking to push, and Chillalotls in the graveyard or underworld, excuse me, just rise it. Like, summon a strong Elestral, then rise the Chillalotl to freeze the back row. It is great. I've seen though it's completely different, a lot of cards that do something similar in other game modes that have gone off. You have things like Giant Tsunade, um, which is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Though it balances all cards, including yours, it is a push to win card. You're not running 3, you're running at least 2. Um, you could. It's so your opponent doesn't, so you can like go for the win. I would compare Chillalotl to Giant Tsunade in that context. Chillalotl will be there to help you push for game or push for tempo, push for board state. It is good. Do not sleep on this card. Um, and honestly, that's all I have for you all today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button. I'm close to 50 subscribers. Gotta get there before New Year's. See you all later. Peace.